Hello everyone, hello my YouTube friends. So in today's video I'm going to paint an abstract artwork. This is going to be an onyx like with galaxy vibe painting, abstract painting. So as you've seen here on my palette, I've worked with a simple acrylic, no fancy brands or expensive paint. I used the black, the blue. Here you see I've mixed both to prepare my background here. It is the greenish blue and some black mixed together. Here I'm using some white, and I'm also going to use some teal color. I think this is the water green blue from Liquitex. I didn't remember the name. And I'm also going to use some pink magenta on one side. So here I've prepared one side and I've done my background color. I don't want it to be really smooth and clean, so because we are going to go on top with more layers of paint, so that's not a problem. We only want to have a good amount of color for our first background. So here I'm working on my second side. This will be the more purple pink side. I like really much this no, not really much. I really like this composition when we have both sides meeting together, creating a nice light on the center. As you see here, I'm adding the line. This is just white paint. I try to focus on my line to be really sharp, and I'm going to blend one side so I have a nice ombre effect. Here you can see. I try to blend it with my dry brush with no paint on it. Here I'm going to use some tape to define more the line I've just made. I'm going to use a little utility knife, precision knife, just to cut the tape. Don't cut the canvas because you will ruin everything. I'm using tape just so I can really blend the color well without adding color on the other side where I don't want it to be. So you will see it will add some 3D dimensional aspect to the painting. You will see that when I will remove the tape. But yeah, I'm creating a little shadow underneath the line, a dark blue shadow. So I will not go deeper into the technique here in this video. As always, if you want to have some online lessons and course, I have linked my Patreon page down in the description, so you can subscribe and have the full video with no cut, and yeah, just me talking and explaining every little gesture that I'm doing. So yeah, so I'm going here to continue. You can see that I've removed my tape and we have now a nice shadow showing. Here I'm just adding more depth into the piece by adding more dark blue onto some areas, and I want it to have these really blended and smooth. And we are going to go on top of that with some more details and cracks like you see on the minerals and stone. And this is what gives the nice transparency to the painting. I'm going to do here the same thing but with a dark purple. Here you can see one of my technique is to add water before, and I'm applying my paint. Here I'm adding directly my paint, then I change my brush and I'm using a dry brush without any water or paint on it, and I'm just blending it. You can really see how it is working well. The water really helps to blend the colors. You don't need any strange medium or fancy medium to do this, just water and acrylic paint, and it's working well. Here it is the same technique, but I'm only using water on one side, so I have a nice blend only on one side. This is part of my little tips and secrets to work with acrylics and how I work with acrylics, because every artist have their own techniques that they developed by time. Here I've added a little bit of white Posca and brush. You can see here that I've added lots of lines and cracks, and also I like to use a sponge to give some nice details. It is really easy with a sponge to add lots of details in a small amount of time, and yeah, I really like this. So to have a more saturated color, I've added some teal color, you can see on the blue part, and now I'm adding a nice blue glazing on top of the purple, just so it reminds on the blue of the other side without hiding the purple too much. So here I try to have a nice white. So for this I'm using my Posca, but I often go over and over it just to have a really bright white, so you have a nice highlight white. So I thought it was missing something just here, so I added a little dark blue crack like this. Sometimes you need to work with your composition when you see, I don't know how to explain it, but sometimes I see that it is not working well, so I need to add more details on some parts, and then my eyes are happy with the result. I don't know how I'm doing this, but yeah. Here you can see how I'm blending only on one side, and you can see that it creates a nice detail, a nice 3D like effect. Here I'm adding some pink magenta directly onto the canvas, not mixed with the blue, just so I have a nice bright pink to add onto. And here are the last details of white lines like this. I'm going to add a few more here. I've also already added the 3D lines that I really like to add onto all of my artworks, and now I've put my gold on it. I have a complete course on that also on my Patreon page, so if you want to check this out, I'm going to link you the leaves that I'm using and the gold leaf glue, because I know some of you always ask, so I'm going to put that onto the description. But yeah, that's it for today's video. I'm going to show you the end result. Here is the painting without the varnish. I kind of like the matte effect with the gold, the shiny gold, but yeah, I also like when I apply my varnish. I put some tape on this one just to protect the edge and have a nice black edges. So here is the result. I hope you've liked this video. I've applied here 2 coats of spray varnish and we have a nice finish. Here is a closer view of the painting. So tell me if you've liked this video. Tell me in the comments if you have any question. Thank you for all of the support, and yeah, I wish you all a great day and see you. Bye guys.